What's up everyone, and welcome back to HateWatchers. Today we're capping off our episode reviews of Season 2 of The Wheel of Time with the season finale episode, Episode 8, entitled What Was Meant to Be. Remember to stay tuned to the channel for a complete season review and a video of the funniest scenes and clips of this season. Without further ado, let's get right into the breakdown. And of course, spoilers ahead. We begin 3,000 years in the past, where we learn that Ishamael's penchant for slipping into people's beds without permission stems from his own past traumas. Back in the present day, we catch up with the Lanfear Moraine crew traversing the ways, when Lanfear decides Moraine and Lan have earned a relaxing tropical vacation at Sandals, Jamaica. Lanfear then decides to take Rand on a spooky Halloween-themed vacation herself. Hopping over to Perrin and Hopper and the Aiels, Perrin ditches the good boy without even really getting to know him. Ishamael finds Lanfear in his bed and he's like,
"Nice."
Over in Tomenhead, the White Cloak Inquisitors charge into town, excited for the annual Halloween Monster Bash Parade. Wisdom is trying on her finished Halloween costume.
How do I look?
It's good.
In the next cell over, Egwene's owner is trying to paint Egwene's face for Halloween, but Egg's not listening to commands.
Now, stand!
So she muzzles her and cuts off her tail. Padon Fane makes another random convenient appearance, and he tells Matt he can borrow his replica dagger for his Halloween costume this year if he wants. Rand, running late for the parade, sees the dogs and their owners all in costume and heading out for the festivities. In Sandals, Jamaica, Lan and Moraine are drinking pina coladas and taking long walks on the beach as they repair their relationship, at least physically.
Let me back in.
Perrin finds Loyal and the other two guys who probably have names, and amazingly, they're carrying the Horn of Prophecy, which they snagged off-screen, just so they can continue to point at this horn saying, "See, book fans? We didn't forget it." Michael Vick leads his dogfighting ring to the top of a tower so they can rain 50-yard bombs down on the city. Egwene thinks the Inquisitors' costumes are culturally appropriated, so she attacks them with the strength of two women. The Great Lord guy and his retinue do an interpretive dance for Rand, but Rand doesn't really like it, and he openly shows his disapproval. On the other side of town, Beardy sacrifices himself to buy them time. But two things here. We already mourned this guy when he died in Season 1, and like most sacrifices in shows and movies, the people he's buying time for just sit and watch him die, so it's a totally meaningless death in the end. He even dies with this look on his face like, did they really just sit there and watch me? Moraine and Lan continue down the coast, hopefully heading toward recreating this scene from Rings of Power. But there's a disturbance in the weave.
You're thinking about Lanfear.
Lanfear confronts Yankee Doodle, who's just slammed right back into the script without a reason. Elsewhere, Xerxes asks Ishamael,
"Where have you been?"
and he's like, nowhere, as he dusts cocaine off his hands. Then she calls him Buttlord.
But Lord,
Matt attaches the cursed dagger to the end of a staff, calling it a long dagger pokey stick, as he's unable to think of a better name in his status quo drunken state. Wisdom and Prissy Pants make their way to the Halloween parade, but they're surprised by all the people who went as bloody war victim zombies this year. Their new friend decides to join the war victim zombie trend, and Prissy Pants is no longer an adventurer after she takes an arrow to the knee. Egg is finally off her leash, and now she's ready to be a huge bitch about it. Down in the city, Matt runs into Perrin and his new crew just before the Monster Mash Bash is about to get underway. But Ponytail gets angry that everyone copied his costume and he's out for blood. Egg collars her owner and says, "How do you like it?" as she hangs her up to dry, gaining her freedom and watching her owner die. She sits like a good girl once more for old time's sake, and Rand arrives and says, "Oh great, it's you. I thought I heard whining up here." Ishamael climbs the tower to confront Rand, and Xerxes has her dogs restrain him from her ship. Matt opens the mystery box to unveil the Horn of Prophecy, and Perrin is like, "Matt, that horn would look great with Rand's costume. You gotta get it to him, now!" The Inquisitors gang up on Perrin, and he's saved by the good boy Hopper. But we have to be reminded that the Inquisition is just the evilest group of evil men ever, so they kill Hopper. But Hopper will be remembered as the best boy. Perrin avenges his furry companion. And I mean Hopper, not like a furry that he... never mind. Matt can't find Rand even though the Monster Bash is starting right now, so he blows the horn to assemble his crew, and they come prepared, with one dressed as Aquaman, one as Legolas, and someone as Mulan. Just a great range of costumes. And Uno made it, but he didn't bother dressing up. The Monster Bash gets started in earnest, and everyone starts moshing. Wisdom jams the arrow all the way into Prissy Pants' knee and is like, "Is that better?" Ishamael asks Rand if he'll join his Legion of Taint, but he admits the name is a work in progress. Then Matt shows up and tries to kill Ishamael, accidentally long dagger pokey-sticking Rand in the liver. Ishamael is about to finish things when Strong Woman 2 steps in between him and his toxic goals. Perrin joins the Rand Protectorate, this name also a work in progress, and Wisdom and Prissy Pants arrive to help Rand finish his costume, and Rand says, "Sup, new girl? People around here call me the Chosen One." Moraine is doing hot yoga on the beach, unleashing her internal frustration on Xerxes' ship, breaking the shielding on Rand, whose costume is now complete. And with all his power, and Ishamael trying to kill him and his friends and enslave the world, Rand stabs Ishamael in slow motion. Moraine then summons a flaming dragon banner across the sky to announce the dragon's return, and the whole Halloween parade across the city hits a fever pitch as Rand wins the Best Costume Award. But obviously the vote was rigged. Lanfear discovers another Forsaken in her room whose evil power is being real creepy. And with that, the episode and the season come to an end. Well, we've reached that point in the video where we have to decide if this episode was a great watch or a hate watch. But for the first time, we're giving the Wheel of Time a debate watch label. This episode wasn't all that bad, and we figured we'd throw this dog a bone at the end of the season. And I'd say that the series of events at the end of the second book are at least recognizable in this episode, not something that could have been said very often this season. There was quite a bit of action in this one, and the show managed to pull off a few decent moments as most of the storylines actually came together into somewhat satisfying payoffs. I will say that I let out a little half groan when Rand defeats Ishamael with a little help from his friends, as everyone ended up in the tower to help him. It just felt a little on the nose, like, remember, he's not doing this on his own. Which is whatever, but if Rand is supposed to be this uber powerful, dominant channeler, you kinda gotta let the guy dominate a few more scenes so we understand how far ahead of everyone he is. And Matt suddenly being a skilled fighter and remembering things from past lives and having a history with these warriors of legend was jarring, to say the least, given that none of that was set up or even hinted at, but whatever. Anyway, that's Season 2. Did you stick around for the finale? Were things in this finale just a little bit closer to the events of the books in your view? Let us know in the comments below. Also, remember to like the video if you liked it, and subscribe to HateWatchers to catch our season end videos for the Wheel of Time, as well as reviews of other shows and movies. Thank you for taking an arrow to the knee with us today, and we'll catch you on the next one.